Good evening, everybody. How are you? I am coming to you from in front of the Christmas tree. Looks so fun in the video, all the sparkles. Christmas trees always look like amazing in my house. Like I should have a Christmas tree up all year long because it's kind of my palette. I have to have the lights that have the pink, that kind of magenta color. If they're just the red, green, blue, yellow, I get a little twitchy. Hi, Colleen. So today we are talking about the third spiritual law of success per Deepak Chopra's book, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. So one of the things that I love about my painting practice and the personal painting practice that I coach and guide other people into, as well as my Creatively Fit coaches, is that it provides us with such a powerful experience of life's truths. You can take anything. You reap what you sow, like any of the spiritual kind of mantras, the life lessons that we've been raised with, the things we read about, that we listen to, the Abraham Hicks, the Deepak Chopra, the Joe Dispenza, like quantum physics, all of this can be experienced at the canvas. And when you experience these spiritual laws, rather than just reading them, they like weave themselves into your body. It's like you get it. You get how to make these premises, these truths, these scientific quantum physics kind of things, how to make them practical and workable in your life, right? So today I'm super excited about this law. I think I'm going to love all of it. Is the third law is the law of karma. I love how when I initially look at these titles, I'm like, how am I going to do that one? It's so perfect. It's always so perfect. So listen to this. You and I are essentially infinite choice makers. In every moment of our existence, we are in that field of all possibilities where we have access to an infinity of choices. Some of these choices are made consciously, while others are made unconsciously. But the best way to understand and maximize the use of karmic law is to become consciously aware of the choices we make in each and every moment. So it talks about how karma is basically the law of cause and effect. It's the reap. You reap what you sow, right? I say that to my son all the time. Like he's in basketball season and he's talking about so-and-so was trash talking and I wanted to say this. And I'm like, you reap what you sow, right? So we know this. So the law of karma, you could also say, is you reap what you sow. And what he was just saying in that paragraph is that sometimes we are consciously sowing, planting the seeds of intention and action and our words and our thoughts and our ideas. We're very consciously choosing those things that will attract to us or bring to us more of what we want. And then we're also all intimately familiar with the benefit of hindsight, how we can so often unconsciously sow things that we don't want, right? And usually it's because that seed got sowed a long time ago and we had an experience that reaped a certain result and we just attached to that and said, okay, that's the way it's always going to be. And what he's saying in calling us to is to be in existence in that field of all possibilities where we have access to an infinity of choices. So where do you feel like you don't have an infinity of choices? Like, where do you feel like the only choices available to you are none of the ones you want? We don't have to go into that, but I'm just putting those little truth bombs out there, right? Thank you, Danielle Laporte. So at the canvas, how do we do this? Oh, let me count the ways, right? So first, It's connecting and bathing yourself in the ability you have to choose. I could choose red, I could choose blue, I could paint a Christmas tree green, or I could paint it purple or red, right? Like we could paint the sky orange or blue or purple. Like, wow, I have so many choices. So you can just connect to and initiate yourself into your next level of just reveling in the choices available to you. Because when we're feeling stuck or frustrated or upset or depressed or any of those things, we're inherently feeling like we don't have a choice, or we don't have the right choices, or what we really want is somehow not available to us. And life is really super good at reinforcing that, right? And the world around us and everything else can be really amazing at reinforcing that. And then what we choose to reinforce with our thoughts and our inner self-talk, that is up to us. We get to choose that, right? But at the canvas, especially when you haven't painted before, like painting has not been a part of your adult experience, right? It's even more powerful. This is where the alchemy happens. When you bring disparate elements together, they create something totally new. So I mostly work with non-artists, right? People that haven't painted before, or people who are attracted to painting, but they're not even sure why, right? There's like this sense, like I don't really want to become a full-time artist, and I have lots of hobbies, but I'm being called to paint. Why is that? It's because the canvas, still for reasons unbeknownst to me, because it seems so magical, the canvas is so powerful, so full of opportunities to learn and experience. So at the canvas first, bathe yourself in all the choices you can make, and realize that when you go to pick red or mix red with the white, you're making that choice. Look at me choosing. I'm making choices. I'm making great choices. I'm making choices that are creating kind of this muddy mess, but I chose those colors, and let's see what I can choose next, right? So first is to bathe yourself in that. And just to even realize, even in the midst of the painting, when you start to think like, oh, I should do it this way, okay? That's where the self-awareness wants to come in and hold up a mirror for you. It's like the canvas becomes a mirror and says, okay, sweet, infinite soul who's experiencing amnesia down on that beautiful planet Earth, you have forgotten, and you are unconsciously keeping yourself from what you want by telling yourself that it's not available to you, or that you can't do it, or that's not the way things are done, or it doesn't look like what they do or make or create or paint, right? So at the canvas, you can choose to create something totally different or totally wild or totally unexpected. You can practice all the ways of choosing. You can go to the canvas simply with the intention of being shown, where is it that I move out of that field of pure potential? Where am I unconsciously choosing what I don't want? Where am I unconsciously choosing to reinforce beliefs that lead me to thinking that I don't have what it takes, or something I want isn't available to me, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not enough? We're choosing. We're choosing in each and every moment. Okay, so I chose, see how this works? Of all the paintings I could choose, and there are paintings, that painting, oh my gosh, so magical. Like, I might sell her for $2 million, but anything under that, forget about it. She was so magical. But this painting I wanted to share. This is something I've been painting recently. This is not a typical painting for me. I was inspired, this headdress was from acrylic ink. And so I saw this and I'm like, ooh, that looks like a headdress. And then I decided to kind of paint my shaman, medicine woman, tribal self, because I saw a teepee over here. And then I added a feather because I could choose to add a feather. I was kind of like, why would there be a big ass feather here? Because I say so. Because I can choose. See how this works? And then I was reading, I don't know what I was reading. Oh, it was a card. It was this Mystic Art Medicine deck. And in the card, it referenced, there was like a figure in the foreground, kind of like this. And then there was a white figure in this like white dome. And it was like her guide or something. And so I just put that in there because I chose to, because I wanted that white guide glowing like a Glenda, the Good Witch kind of thing. And then it's kind of a cave, a portal. There's a doorway there. You know, oh, I'm choosing to learn from this painting and let it evolve, right? This painting challenges me sometimes because it's like, this isn't a painting that I anticipate selling or even showing anyone, but then here I go. There's always a reason. But it was purely to kind of connect to those choices that I wouldn't normally make, right? So every single moment you are choosing to reinforce beliefs that you can't do something or it's not available to you, or that you can. I can do this. It says, right? When I got divorced in 2012, I gained a lot more freedom with my schedule, and I had 3 kids. I still have 3 kids, but they were a lot younger. Right now, 2 of them aren't even on this continent. And so I was free to choose to do things that I had no idea I would ever be able to get to choose to do. And there was always this little voice like, a 40-something mother of 3 doesn't do that. And I'm like, well, who says? Right? So I became aware. I was hyper aware because I was in this completely unknown like wilderness. As much as I knew I was probably always heading in that direction, I did not think it was available to me. I chose. And I was constantly made aware of how it would be so easy to tell myself that these desires that would pop up or repeat and keep knocking on my door, how I could choose to not honor them because of what was normal or typical. And let me tell you, choosing things that go against the grain, that buck the system, but that light you up from the inside out, always a good thing. Always a good thing. Always a good thing. If you have an example, message me privately. But I really believe that when we have this heart knowing and calling and we suppress it, we choose to ignore it because what would everybody else say, or it would upset other people, that's where the dis-ease comes in. Okay, as always, we could go on and on and on. So what I want to invite you to do is to embody and integrate the 3rd spiritual law of success, the law of karma, the law of cause and effect, the law that says you get to choose anything and everything. And not only that, you are choosing anything and everything. Let's do it consciously. Let's do it in alignment with your truth, your authentic self, your heart. What would that look like? Just do it at the canvas first, right? Don't worry about leaving your husband or quitting your job or whatever else. That will all progress in my experience. It will become unavoidable. And in the meantime, to prepare yourself for more conscious choosing that is in alignment with your highest and greatest good and your highest and greatest desires, take it to the canvas. Take it to the canvas instead of the therapist or the bottle of wine or the whatever else. Take it to the canvas and get to know yourself as an infinite creative being. What comes next may make you super happy. Love sharing this with you. Okay, everyone, have an amazing next painting experience. If you've never painted before, oh my gosh, go to WhitneyFrey.com, message me, contact me, comment below. Let me help you connect to this. It is magic and it works, right? Okay. Have a magical night or day, depending on where you are.